Welcome back to day 15 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. Today I got in two films and just taking stock midway point of the challenge. I'm at 53, give or take, films at this point, which is just barely over the mark I need to hit. Probably my lowest halfway point mark since I've been doing this, but I'm still on track to hit over 100. It's just I'm very, very close. I got to watch it now, make sure that I at least watch three and sometimes four movies a day to keep it up. So it's going to be tough. But anyway, I did get in two movies. First up, I watched on Shudder In Search of Darkness Part 1, which is a 4 hour, 20-minute documentary on 80s horror covering really kind of touching the high points of the genre, classic films from the 80s. But it does have a lot of nice interviews and inserts. Joe Dante's in there, John Carpenter's in there. A lot of interesting commentary about that, but really very superficial. For any of those fans out there that are like me, have grown up and seen these films, this isn't going to plow any new ground for you. This is just barely. This is just kind of a flyby type situation. But I still enjoyed it overall, and I look forward to part two. Hopefully, part two will be a bit of a deeper dive into the '80s horror. Um, so yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. Next up is 1997's The Cure. Um, this is a fascinating film. I don't even know where to begin about this. Kiyoshi Kurosawa directed this. It's about a detective. The film kind of opens up. There's a detective that finds a brutal murder having occurred, and the killer's calling card is he carves an X from their ear to their chest across. So um, he's trying to figure out who's causing these murders, and they eventually run across this guy named Miami who kind of speaks in riddles. You're not sure what he's talking about, and he'll answer a question with a question. Very, very disarming type situation. And the detective gets slowly and further deep into this thing. It becomes a lot more strange. It just becomes stranger and stranger. It's a film about hypnotism, Satan work. I think there's some satanic elements to this. There's suicide. I think is a fairly obvious topic within this film. It's a very interesting film. This is every October challenge. I always find those one or two films that I'm thinking I end up scratching my head saying I need to rewatch that because I'm just not sure what I think about it. And this is one of those films. This is going to have to be a rewatch. I liked it, but I'm just not sure what to think about it. It's a film that'll make you think. It's slow, but it's not slow in a boring sense. It's a film that just kind of takes in um, it takes in all the elements of what's around them as far as the acting. There's some beautiful cinematography in this, but so it's an interesting film to look at. It takes its time though. It's not a film that you're going to rush through. It's certainly not an action film. It's much more of a psychological horror film, a much more introspective film. Really, it's a film that has topics like suicide and hypnotism and metaphysical topics, but it also uh, covers the human condition, I think, and our response to stress, that type of thing. Fascinating, fascinating open-ended film. My initial reaction is 7 out of 10, but like I say, I'm gonna have to watch this one again. If you've seen either with that's it for today though. If you've seen any of these films, let me know what you think about them. Thanks for watching.